Good morning, YouTube. It's 7:44 in the morning, Saturday, November 25th. I hope this video finds you well. This is Jason, aka Bit Junkie, back to bring you another video. I want to apologize first because I promised a few people yesterday via email, maybe in the comment section and some other messaging forms of people that have contacted me, that I told them there was going to be a video available yesterday. But I'm a best man in a wedding this weekend, so we did rehearsal stuff all day yesterday, and I came home ready to go, but my software needed updating for my screen capture, and it just wasn't working with me. So I have to get out of here to go to the wedding in about 2 hours, but I wanted to hurry up and get this video out because I did some work yesterday to put this together. And I was promising this video since my very first video, so I feel pretty good about the information I'm going to give you, but I'm sorry that's a little bit late. Real quick, I'm going to take 30 seconds and do a PSA. Listen guys, last week I had like 32 subscribers on my channel, and now there's 1,500 of you guys, and my total view count for all my videos was maybe 100 or 200 or something, and now it's, I don't know, one of the videos has had 70-something thousand views. So what's come out of that is I've gotten a lot of feedback in the comment section and directly to my box, and majority of it good, a lot of it not so good. And listen, investing is risky inherently. So whenever you're going to get into any investment, you weigh the risk, and you only risk what you can afford to lose based on what do you think the risk is for that particular investment. All right, I have way more money in real estate than I have in cryptocurrencies in these platforms, and the amount that I have in these platforms, I'm willing to lose. It's worth the risk against the upside potential of these platforms. Okay, but I'm in no way trying to peddle that information to you. What this is here is a conversation. I want to start a conversation between us. And if you're at the point that you look at this and you say, hey, this looks really interesting, I want to get involved, I am not opposed to earning a referral fee for that. I'm not. But I'm going to make the videos, and I'm going to invest regardless of whether anybody joins me or not. This is a video diary of my progress. So I do appreciate the people that joined under me, and thank you very much, because that makes my compounding process move a lot faster. And I'm going to keep putting out good information best I can, but this is a conversation between us, and that's how I look at this. This is about building a community, but we're all here to make money as well. But the comment section gets a little crazy. People, just relax. If you don't believe in the systems and everything like that, you don't invest. Still watch me. If you really think it's going to crash and burn, stay tuned and see what happens, and then you can hit me with I told you so in a year, and I'll have to take that, right? If not, just maybe be quiet. I probably shouldn't say that, but let's keep going with the video. I don't want to start over. All right, so I'm really excited about this video. I spent some time doing the work and the math on this, and basically what we're going to do in this video, this is about USI Tech versus BitConnect. They're very popular platforms. What I'm finding out is BitConnect much more popular than USI Tech at this point, but I'm invested in both. And that's why I started this channel, was to show my progress in both of these. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe both, and then I'm going to use the case study that I used in the most popular video I did about BitConnect. We're going to use that case study, but then we're going to add USI Tech into the equation and then do the math and see which one would have been more profitable and everything like that. Those results are very shocking to me, very shocking. And it also gives me insight. The USI Tech results actually give me insight into what BitConnect is actually doing, which is unforeseen, but it's pretty cool. And then I'm going to give you my views on both companies and my long-term outlook on both. And then, yeah, and that's about it. And then we'll see what you think about that in the comment section. All right. So let's start with phase one. First of all, well, let's look at Bitcoin. Wow. I mean, $8,500. I bought Bitcoin through USI Tech. That was the first thing I got into. It was $4,200 on October the 5th when I bought my first 4 packages. And this is $8,500 now. It's amazing. Anyway, all right, so let's get to this. This is what I did. All right, so The case study is going to be July 14th to November 14th, and we'll get to that kind of down at the bottom. But here's a brief overview of USI Tech and BitConnect. So basically, the term of BitConnect, they're loans. So it's a platform. You bring in Bitcoin, they convert your Bitcoin into BCC or BitConnect coin, which is their own cryptocurrency that has its own blockchain. It's a separate asset from Bitcoin, but its use case is typically within the platform. Okay, and I don't like that music change right there. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna go back to Whisper of a Thrill, and we're gonna put this on repeat. Sorry about that. That's never supposed to be in the video. All right, so they pay. Now they have a variable rate. They have a trading bot for BitConnect that trades, and then there's a daily interest rate paid out based on the results of the trading bot's trading, and they offer a variable bonus that ranges from 0.1% to 0.25% based on the loan amount that you give them. So and we'll look at that in a second. All right, and then they have their own coin. It's the BCC coin, and they pay you back in US dollars. All right, converse. And then another big thing is they have, and I forgot to put this on the chart, they have a capital release, which means at the end of your term you receive back your investment in whole, as well as the interest that you made per day. All right, so it's a pretty good deal. USI Tech, contrarily, is 145 days estimated for the term. So here's the deal: they don't really make a term date. The contract is for 140% return on investment. Okay, so you give them Bitcoin. They're also a Bitcoin-based investment platform. You give them Bitcoin, and they pay you 140% return of what you gave them. And the source of their repayment, which has changed, because when they first came out, when I joined, and we'll talk about why it changed, but it was based on their trading in the market. So basically, like the trading bot for BitConnect, the trading of USI Tech. Now, USI Tech has, I think, a 12-year history of doing Forex trading for high net worth individuals. So they've got a really proven track record of being very, very profitable. And they license out their software. And up until the 1st of November, you could license, I mean, from before until November 1st, it changed, but before you could license their software and put it on your trading platform, and it would trade for you. And the returns have been documented. You can go online and go on YouTube, and you'll find people that were using their software. So it's a profitable trading system that they were using. So that kind of gives them a little bit of validation. But now their repayment source is mining contracts. When you look in the bylaw, the terms and agreements on the page when you sign the agreement, it says that the repayment source is based on mining contracts. And they're in an ICO right now. So they're in a pre-ICO, and they're offering their coin. It's the tech coin. I don't know what the denomination or the designation is going to be as far as the symbol or the letters, but we'll find that out, I guess, in some time. And then maybe the biggest difference between them and BitConnect is they pay you in Bitcoin. So basically 140%. For example, if you were to invest 1 Bitcoin, your contract is 1.4 Bitcoin that they would pay you back. So you get 1.4%. I'm sorry, 40% return. But the thing about this, there is no capital release. So basically, you loan them one Bitcoin, and they're going to pay you back. The target is 1% a day, every day, until it totals up to 140%. But if they're averaging less than 1%, it's going to take more days. If they're averaging more than 1%, it's going to take less days. But the agreement is 140% return on your investment. All right, and the target is 140 days. So that's how that works. All right, so let's get into comparing this. A lot of people watch my video about BitConnect and the example that we did. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an example. If we were to do $10,000 and $10,010, convert that into Bitcoin, and then invest it in both platforms, where would we be at the end of a 120-day term? So the term for BitConnect is set, because a $10,010 loan is a 120-day repayment, and for USI Tech it's not set because it's a variable. based on the returns. Okay, so we don't know. So this is not an exact science match, but it's going to use real world numbers. I'm going to use the rate of return I've received since I've been in USI as the average, and then we're just going to do the math from that date. Okay, so at that date, Bitcoin was $2,330. This is a rounded off number for that day. It was above that, below that at different times. So, but that's an average for the day. All right, so if you bought $10 worth of Bitcoin back on that date, that would be 4.29 Bitcoin. All right, so for BitConnect, you would give them a loan. It would have a 120-day term with a capital release at the end of 120 days. The daily trading, the trading bot would trade the money daily, and you would get whatever the daily return was plus 0.25. Now, in my previous example, I did a 6-month average for what the trading bot was returning, and the average for the last 6 months is it returns 0.96% per day. So a little under 1%. And then if you add the 0.25 guaranteed, you're getting 1.21% per day. Okay, so that's normalized over the course of the 120-day term. All right, and it trades 7 days a week. All right, so that's BitConnect. USI Tech, the contract is to pay 140% return, no exact date. So it's just going to run 140%. So you would give them the 4.29 Bitcoin. They would trade that every day. My oldest packages in USI Tech are 36 days old. Well, they were 36 days old yesterday because I made this up yesterday morning, and I went in and I pulled my returns, and I'm at about 0.89%. Okay, that's no guarantee for anybody else. That's just what the system has returned me for my first set of packages. Okay, now, and I full disclosure, I have 72 packages now, and I had 4 the day I started. But the daily rate is the daily rate, so my oldest packages should give me the best indication of what the daily average return would be, right? So I use the 0.89. That's what we're going to do, and it trades 5 days a week, only business days, Monday through Friday. And the interesting thing about that is, so when you compare that over since July 14th, the total is 87 days. So when we reach the November 14th date, you've only had 87 trading days with USI Tech because they don't trade weekends. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, and then on November 14th, Bitcoin was worth $6,567.59. Again, that's an average because it was higher and lower during the course of that day, but that's about where it was. Okay. All right, so let's look at the math. Pretty interesting stuff here. All right. Okay. So first, the average pay per day. So with $10,010 invested, and an average pay worked out to be $121.12 per day for BitConnect. And here's the interesting thing: the conversion, 0.0381 BTC. And for some people, that's like, what does that mean? But we'll get to it. All right. So then, like I said, the term for BitConnect was going to be 120 days. USI Tech ended up being 87 days. All right. The interest returned over the course of that time for BitConnect was $14,534.52. The interest returned on USI Tech is 3.314 BTC. So you're talking about 3.3 Bitcoins. And the interesting thing about this is, remember, that's basically principal and interest because there is no capital release at the end. You just get all your money back until it adds up to 140% of your original investment. Okay. All right. So here's some interesting stuff here. All right. So at the end of the 120 days, you made the $14,534 with BitConnect. But then you also get your capital release, so you get your $10,010 back, and you add that in. So your total return is $24,544 on your investment. Okay. At this point, BitConnect, USI Tech, the total of the value of 3.31 BTC on November 14th was $21,769.59. Some of the real sharp people in the room are looking at that, and your mind is churning right now, and I know it. Okay, so the per day actual income, this is finished. This is completed. You ended up with a $204.54 per day, which is a phenomenal return, by the way. Okay, so you ended up with $204.54 a day. Over here, you ended up with $250.22 a day. And the reason is about the value of Bitcoin rising. You have 87 days in here. Let's look at this. I made some notes. USI has 70 more days in the contract according to the average payout to make it to 140%, because you invested 4.9 Bitcoin in 140% return would be 6.06 Bitcoin is what they owe you back. So six Bitcoin, right? So as of the date on November 14th, this average per day would have totaled $39,284 if the next 70 days the price stayed where it was at the end of this thing, you know, on 11/14. We live in the real world. As I'm making this video, it's the 25th of November, I think, or something like that. This is, either way, this is 10 or 11 days later. Bitcoin is worth $2,000 more than it is right here, right now. So this right here has gone up, and 6 Bitcoin right now, just doing simple math, is over $50,000, significantly higher than this. And this is the advantage that getting paid in Bitcoin brings to you. You're getting the percentage gains, you know, 1% a day, or in my case with them around 0.9%, but you also get the value of the Bitcoin going up. This is big stuff. And so it also brings out a point. Brings out a major point for me. This kind of sort of validates BitConnect indirectly. And let me tell you why. In their scenario, if you watch my other video, I explained that in the exchange where you bring your Bitcoin in and they give you BitConnect coins, that other BitConnect accounts are part of the peers that are in there making the market and exchanging Bitcoin for BitConnect, that they're a part of that process, and some of those members in there are BitConnect accounts, right? So they are holding some Bitcoin. Well, they get to be on this side of the equation. This is why it makes sense. This is why they do what they do. They get $10,000 worth of your Bitcoin. They give you $10,000 worth of BitConnect coin, which you then give it back to them. And both of those assets appreciate against the dollar the same way I'm looking at this chart. Both of them at the same time. The return is massive difference. And what they're doing is they're paying us this on the BitConnect side. But they get to reap the benefits of this. I mean, we're at a little over halfway through. They owe us back 6 Bitcoin. And at this point, we're at 3. We're a little bit past halfway. But the value of a Bitcoin is going up and up and up and up. In the case of BitConnect, they also would have a BitConnect coin that's going up and up and up. It's double. This is an exact example of how BitConnect is making their money off of us. You see? And USI Tech actually gives you the opportunity to be on the side of kind of like BitConnect. You're making the money, plus you're getting the gains from the BitConnect coin. Powerful stuff. Okay, so what are the differences? It seems like it's a similar program other than being paid in Bitcoin, but the companies are structured completely differently. First of all, let's all be real here about BitConnect. BitConnect is a mathematical equation, okay? It's a genius mathematical equation. Basically, as Bitcoin rises, they tie their coin to it, and they get to hold both during the loan period. So they get all the appreciation from Bitcoin and BitConnect coin simultaneously, and then they pay you back dollars, which is the lowest valued asset in the exchange or in the process. Okay, so this chart is an example of that if you look at the USI Tech side, and that's a very profitable model. It works for them. It's a mathematical equation. Here's the problem: eventually you lose the upward momentum required to sustain itself as it is, because at some point Bitcoin levels off as more institutional money comes in and more ways to short it to bring counter pressure come in and more liquidity comes in. There's going to be a stabilization in price at some point. Now, we do have really low adoption rate, under 1%. There's under 5 million people holding Bitcoin, and there's 7 billion people on the planet. So we're well under 1%, so I mean, I guess that'd be like 1/6% or something like that. So we're well below 1%. So there's a huge upside, and it bears the reason that Bitcoin is going to grow exponentially. I mean, the rumors of $1 and $2 million Bitcoins, that's not fallacy. I mean, that's possible. So the life of BitConnect, in my opinion, is directly tied to the growth of Bitcoin. It's a mathematical equation, and it does not function properly when Bitcoin, and by proxy BitConnect coin, can't rise anymore. Okay, so it's an investment with a limited time frame on it that is going to work. However, that time frame we don't know. Bitcoin looks like its legs are going to be really, really long. So it's possible that we could get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years out of this, and you can always tweak the system. BitConnect doesn't promise you returns. So they're averaging around 1%, but maybe as the market flattens and volatility goes lower, the best we'll get is 0.2 or 0.3%. Maybe they'll change their referral structure and only go down 1 level instead of 3. I had to look that up because I recently started getting referrals. And so there's things that they can do to tweak the model to keep it viable, and it just won't be as profitable. But this is how you cash in on Bitcoin's historic rise. Is you have to get in and do something, and that's my mindset. You don't have to do anything. My mindset is I have to get in and do something. And as long as Bitcoin is expanding and growing and appreciating, I think BitConnect is viable. Okay, it's a mathematical equation. USI Tech is a totally different animal. USI Tech is a company. Now, at the top here, I put how they're getting paid through mining contracts. Okay. USI Tech has a bunch of. I made a video about, is USI Tech the next Apple, and I'm not. That's not hyperbole. USI Tech has they're in an excellent position, and let me tell you why. They have I'm not going to get too far into it, but basically, they have a technology that makes their power about 90% cheaper than it is for everybody else. Okay, so it's a hydroelectromagnetic generator that they have a patent pending on that makes their electricity way cheaper. And why is that important? Well, they just went and bought a new rig, $70 million worth, and they're in mining now. Cryptocurrency as a industry is growing exponentially. Okay, it was at 20 or 40 billion earlier this year, and it's well over 240 billion right now. We can verify that if we, let's see. Yes, $270 billion market cap now. We're at $12 billion a day in volume. All right, so it's exponential growth for cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrencies are all based on hashing power and computing power. It's what makes it go. Most of these coins are decentralized and run on blockchains, and people around the world in different locations, we make the network with computing power. 90% of the cost in being a miner is electricity. So if you can make your cost 90% cheaper for your electricity than your competitors in an exponential market where 90% of the cost is electricity, I think that, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand what kind of a competitive advantage that puts you at. Okay, and this is a growing, expanding network that's or market that's at $270 billion today as we make this video, and could be at $5 trillion 2 years from now. And to be the player in the market with a patented technology like that is unbelievable, okay? And then on top of that, they're reinvesting. They're ambitious. The company, they want to be bigger. They want to be the #1 company in cryptocurrencies. They're reinvesting. They did a meeting on October 28th, and I don't have an official link to it, but if you Google the October 28th USI Tech meeting, you'll find some summaries and reviews. It wasn't live, but you'll find some summary and reviews really detailing a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about. And it's very impressive stuff. I mean, they're investing $10 million a month in buying more hardware. They want more hashing power. As it stands now, they have 1% of the hash rate in Bitcoin, and they have 2.5% of the hash rate in Ethereum, just based on the rigs that they have now. And they're reinvesting monthly to grow that. And the biggest key is the packages that they sell. I forgot to mention this. To get in is 50 euros. So they base all their packages on 50 euros. And so you can get in at 50 euros at a time, all right, worth of Bitcoin. You have to convert it to Bitcoin because they only accept Bitcoin. They pay in Bitcoin, they accept Bitcoin, but the packages are based on 50 euros. So when I say I have 72 packages, that's the equivalent of, let me see, 3,500 plus 2. So that's 3,600 euros worth of Bitcoin that I've put into them, okay? And now the amount of Bitcoin, the value of how much Bitcoin is required to make 50 euros changes every day, because as Bitcoin goes up, it takes less euros. As Bitcoin's value goes up, it takes less Bitcoin to equal 50 euros. Okay, so I'm talking in circles here. But the bottom line is that they pay you in Bitcoin, and they have a lot of competitive advantages in the cryptocurrency space. And they're ambitious, and they're paying you back off the mining contracts. That's huge. It's not trading. It's not speculation. It's basically proof of work. And cryptocurrencies at a $270 billion market cap, there's plenty of mining to do, and it's growing every day. And the way that they're paying you back is through the mining contract. And the reason they can use the mining contract to exclusively pay you is because their electricity is 90% cheaper than their competitors, which gives them almost a limitless level of growth potential. So on the surface, you're investing in the same thing, platforms that may pay you 1% a day. But one is a mathematical equation that's tied to the growth of Bitcoin. The other is more, I would think, like a stock, where it's tied to the quality of a company. There's a lot of transparency with USI Tech, and yeah, it's a different setup. Like I said, I've weighed those risks. I've invested in both, but that's the math. So that's USI Tech versus BitConnect, and it's amazing when you look at this math how important it is to be paid in Bitcoin, which is what, in my opinion, BitConnect is actually doing. Does this not show how genius their system is? They get your Bitcoin from you. Yes, I'm aware that some of the peers in the transaction are people that are already on the system exchanging out their BCC to get Bitcoin and get out. I understand that. But BitConnect is market making their platform. They're on a lot of the other side of those trades in that exchange, and they are accumulating Bitcoin. So they're getting Bitcoin and they're getting BitConnect coin, and they both rise basically in tandem against the dollar. And this example right here shows you the difference. Like today, let's do the math real quick. 3.3147 Bitcoin. What is that worth right now? 3.317 BTC USD. 28,526. On November the 14th, it was $21,769. You did nothing different. It's just a week later, it's worth $7,000 more, and now it's more than what your total investment was here. It's huge, but there's room for both of these platforms. I like both. On the BitConnect side, your term is set. You know exactly when you're going to get your money back. you know that they're making more money, which means this should last. So I should feel pretty safe about it, right? Because you see this side of the equation and what they're earning, and it's like, wow, I'm on the wrong end of this equation, but this is still an excellent return. So this is why I diversified. I put money in both. I look at USI Tech as more of a long-term investment for me. As a matter of fact, some of the returns that I may get from compounding in BitConnect, I would then invest in USI Tech. That's just my strategy. But I think there's room for both. They're both tied to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was a crash and burn, none of this stuff works. None of it, okay? But me personally, I'm betting big on Bitcoin. And I think I'll buy a couple apartment buildings out of some of the money I make here. You know, that's my long-term goals. But that's BitConnect versus USI Tech. They're both good companies. Now, USI Tech, this is my back office. This is a page. I went through their terms and agreements for affiliates, and I actually searched back office. I spent an hour looking through that thing this morning, and I could not find anything that says I cannot display my back office, but I keep hearing that I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show the back office really. I'm just going to show you this one page, but I'm going to probably maybe send the document over to my attorney and let them look at it and see if it's okay, because I want full transparency with you guys, because, you know, I'm just trading this and you're supposed to be documenting my journey. It makes it real hard if I can't show you what's happening, right? So, but this is how it works, you know, 140 working days, Monday through Friday, 140% return on capital. The goal is 1%. That's what these asterisks say if you go down there and click on them. And then they're doing a coin offering. And I need to do a separate video on that. I keep saying I'm going to make a separate video on that, but they're doing a coin, which in my opinion has the potential to be one of the biggest investments that I've come across in my lifetime. An opportunity. I mean, I really do feel like it's being able to buy Apple stock before it's Apple. That's what I think. I'm not making a claim on that. Okay, that's what I personally believe, and I'm trying to invest as much as I can in that. But I'll do a separate video on that coin and what that could mean. And I mentioned it a lot in my USI Tech could be the next Apple video, and that's probably somewhere floating around in these pages. If you're watching this one, click on that one and take a look at that. But okay, I need to get off this video. It's way too long. But that's USI Tech versus BitConnect. I like both. I'm in both. I'm going to keep trading both. I'm going to use Bitcoin itself as a leading indicator to let me know when these platforms won't work anymore, because the thing is, it's tied to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin works, I think these things are going to work. USI more so than BitConnect, because again, BitConnect is just a mathematical equation that I think eventually will level off and will change substantially, whereas USI Tech is a company that's using a growing market and their advantage in that market to pay you above, average market returns. So there's room for both. I like both. They're both producing for me. I've made a lot of money, percentage wise back, that I would not be able to make at the bank. I make more per day, 1% or whatever, than the bank pays me for a whole year. So for me, that's fantastic. Lately, I have been getting a lot of referrals. Again, I had 30 subscribers last week. Now there's 1,500 of you guys. A bunch of you people, not you people, but you follower, I don't know what to say. A bunch of you guys that are watching the channel are signing up, and that's cool, and I appreciate it. And I tried to email most of you when you first signed up, but I can't because it's a lot of people now. And I appreciate it, and it helps my compounding. I bought more packages by you guys joining, so thank you. I mean, I'm not gonna hide behind the fact it's great, but this is about community. Let's talk. Let's have conversation. Let's see how we both feel about it. Watch the progress, and by no means ever feel the need to jump in. Only risk what you can afford to lose, and just watch the channel and just see how this thing goes. But this is a monumental shift in the way finances work, I think, internationally, and we're on the ground floor of it, in my opinion. So I'm getting in. I have to do something, So that's where I'm at. It's been good talking to y'all. I have to go get ready for a wedding, and I'll do another video. We'll be back to regular updates of the accounts next week, okay? Because right now it's been all the comments and everything. You guys are asking a lot of questions, and I just figured I'd make this video to answer those questions, But we'll be back to just regular update videos in my next video. All right, have a wonderful weekend, or rest of your weekend, a beautiful Saturday. It's cold where I'm at. I'm in Virginia, and it's freezing outside. But I'm just going to go get ready for a wedding. So I'll talk to you soon. You guys have a good weekend.